So you've shot your newscast. Now, how do you edit it? Well, I take a contrarian viewpoint here. Every book on video production will spend a great deal of time on editing. I simply don't find, for most people creating news videos, the need for much editing. And let's face it, time is finite. Once you start the editing process, you can edit and edit and edit, and the project never ends. I'm a big fan of a simple talking head, live to tape, even though it's not tape, philosophy when it comes to creating internet news videos for people. Once you start editing, it just becomes a huge, huge, huge time suck. And someone says, well, what about that? If you're in a big corporation, someone says, well, let's take this out, or let's add this one little graphic. Or next thing you know, it's turned into a 6-month project. You look at the video, and now the information is so dated that you can't even use it anymore. The whole project has to be shelved. Now, I do use a program, Wirecast. It's listed in the previous video in this series. In the description, you can read about that. So I'll do very simple edits while I'm talking. So when I'm starting a newscast, I'll have a provocative 5-second tease, and then I simply do this. How did I do that? I had, through Wirecast, I had a video already edited together by someone else. I hired a guy in Canada who's a specialist in creating graphics like that. That graphic cost $300. It is not expensive to create high quality graphics. It's not something, frankly, you should spend your time on. There are other specialists who can do that for you. I had it loaded up into my Wirecast, and all I did was hit F1. Now when I'm through with this video, I will edit it, but what I mean is all I'll do is I'll hit the space button. I have a keyboard in my laptop. So when I'm done, I'll hit the space, and that simply causes it to stop. This is built into the functions of the particular editing software I'm using, Wirecast. Again, it's listed in the directory information below in the description in the previous video, and you can find out information on all the technology I use. But I want to beg you and really caution you, don't try to edit videos unless you have a huge, huge, huge budget and lots of personnel. Now, if you work for a Fortune 100 company and you're launching a video that you think is going to be seen by millions and everyone in your industry and every trade publication, and it's a really big deal, and you have unlimited time and resources, sure, write the script, edit it, post-production, all that. But for the typical subject matter expert, the typical PR firm, you simply don't have that luxury. I would recommend a beginning edit, meaning you hit start, and an end stop. And if you want to get a little glitzy, do what I just did. Create a special graphic with a little sound effect. Hit one button and it's in. And that way, when you finish talking and you've hit stop, the video is done and you can simply upload it. I realize this isn't how NBC News creates its video. Guess what? You're not NBC News and you don't have the resources they do. When you look at the cable news networks, the very reason there is so much live talk on Fox, on CNN, on MSNBC is that it doesn't require editing. It is cheap. It is easy. All it requires is a camera that's on. They understand that. And that's why when you see the cable news networks expanding with more programming, they're not trying to do more shows like 60 Minutes. They're not trying to do more 22-minute CBS evening newscast. It's too expensive and too time-consuming. And with you creating a newscast for your clients, your subject matter, you're going to have even a smaller audience. Therefore, very unlikely you can monetize it. Therefore, the more you can do to minimize your cost, the better. A part of your cost is your time. So if you can do it as quickly as possible, the least amount of time you spend possible, the more money you save. And that's what you've got to keep keep in mind. So I recommend doing no editing. I know some of you are saying, well, that's crazy or that's not professional. It's just not true. Tune into the Today Show tomorrow and you'll see a good 5-minute stretch where there's no editing. It was an interesting conversation. Matt Lauer was interviewing someone. It was live. Yeah, they may have different camera angles, but it was interesting video content because of what was said, not because of the intro, the outro, the bumper, the graphics, the ads. It was interesting just because it was a couple of people talking. That's what I recommend to you. So try to minimize the editing. Find editing software and learn how to use it. I'm no big techie, folks, but I learned how to use this editing software. I learned how to hit the space button and turn it off, which is what I'm doing now.